we see in the middle of this difficult situation, religion shows up. You know, religion's reaction is it sees the pain. Because I do think that's one thing that religion is good for. It at least allows you to see where there is a problem and where there is a need. The Bible even talks about how the law is like a mirror, where you're able to look in the 10 Commandments and begin to see where you're deficient. The religion sees the problem, does not see the problem. The problem is I think it has no power to help the problem. And maybe it does. I don't fully know. I can't see from this story, but I do know this. I see that religion sees the problem, but then what does it do? What is its reaction? It avoids the problem. Which sounds a lot like religion to me. Religion is aware of the problem, but dead religion can't fix the problem, so it has to pretend you're not half dead and keep on trucking. Religion sees the problem, but then it avoids the difficult situation. You know what it says about the priest and the Levite? It says that they walked to the other side of the road. They walked to the other side of the road. My personal belief, because I've studied this area, is that this person wasn't just left on one side of the road. It's not like he just stepped over him. This whole area is on the side of the road where deep ravines. It would have been an action that these robbers threw this person down into a pit. And so by the priest walking to the other side of the road, he would have been able to no longer see the need because it's too far down. That's why he moves to the other side of the road. Why? Is because of avoidance. And listen, before we judge religion, we got to know, look, you can be in the pit and be the Levite simultaneously. You can be having a problem that's left you half dead, and then your judgmental, moralistic self side walks up and can begin to judge. And I know we like to say, well, it's other people judging me, but come on, no one judges you more than you. It's you. The other side of you walks up and says, I can't deal with this part of me right now. I just can't handle this right now. I know it's a reality, but I am absolutely insufficient in how to fix it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to cope. And what's one of our number one coping mechanisms with pain is avoidance. If I don't have to see it, I don't have to engage with it. If I don't have to look at it, I don't have to deal with it. So I can leave this down there. In fact, maybe I can bury it even deeper, and I can keep walking on and living my life. And this is the action that a generation is taking in their mind. And what's so difficult is we're not just avoiding helping others, we're avoiding helping ourselves. And it's very difficult to avoid yourself. Isn't it? Wherever you go, there you are. It's the problem. And this is the first reaction. And I think it's amazing that there's a physical action attached to the avoidance. He didn't just see and keep walking. No, he saw and had a choice. And he had a physical action that was attached to the avoidance. I wonder what your physical action is that's attached to your avoidance. Maybe it's not sin, but it's certainly not helping you find deliverance. What is the thing that is keeping you from avoiding the real thing? You know, maybe it's just partying. That could mean that in a lot of different ways, but it could just be, maybe it's just people. You always got to be around a lot of people because the moment you're alone, you have to deal with yourself and you can't handle that. Maybe it's Netflix. Maybe it's just constant and mindless scrolling because as long as some small part of your mind is occupied, you don't have to deal with the other part of your life that just seems overwhelmed. Maybe it's insert your substance of choice, which you might say, well, I'm not addicted. Well, it's not a sin. Well, yeah, maybe not, but let me tell you, it's certainly not delivering you or healing you or saving you or helping you. It's just avoidance. And clouding your mind so that you don't have to exist in your mind is not why God designed your mind. He designed your mind to be sharp and to be powerful, to be exciting, to be adventurous, to make accomplishments, not to try and not think. That's not why God gave you the incredible power of thought. I can tell you want me to move on from that point. Saying, move on, Pastor. I don't know what your avoidance thing is, but you have to acknowledge it. You have to find that pattern that keeps you in this cycle of pain. Maybe for you it's shopping. Maybe for you it's getting new shoes. I'm not talking to the ladies, actually I'm talking to the guys. Maybe it's achieving and careerism and workaholic and for all of us, I think we all know maybe it's your phone, primarily. Whatever it is, it's the choice, it's the physical action of avoidance that you've chosen. And I guess what my point is, when it comes to seeing yourself in that ditch or others, you must take responsibility even when it's technically not yours. Even when it's technically not yours. Who's my neighbor? He asked, trying to justify himself. Because that's technically not my actual literal neighbor. He's trying to justify his way into inaction. And let me tell you, there's always a way you can justify inaction for yourself and for others. There's always a good excuse. Always. And your justification will sound good to nobody but yourself. And that's the only person you have to convince. I guess what I'm saying is, do not allow the technicality to keep you from responsibility. Take responsibility even when it's technically not yours. You say, well, this wasn't my fault, this circumstance. I agree. But the only step towards deliverance is taking responsibility even if it's technically not yours. In the end, you don't have the luxury sometimes of assigning blame. The reality is, even if it's not your fault, even if it happened to you, you have to get healed. You got to get out of that place. You can't stay there forever, so you got to step in.